Is everybody doing okay? Any abnormal thoughts? Because it's always a bummer when you lose money in crypto. And we saw Bitcoin go from 49,000 to 38,000. If you've been following my channel, especially on my Instagram and on some of the shorts, I've been given some tidbits of, hey, we're going to see a small bounce off of 40. We did. It bounced up to 42-ish, and then we went down, and we are now bouncing off of 38,000. Why is that? What do you need to know about this Bitcoin crash? Is there a lot of FUD? That is a acronym for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yeah, everyone is freaking out because it was a buy the rumor, sell the news of the exchange-traded fund, the SEC finally approving something, and that was what boasted Bitcoin to go from 30th to 49 is insider information. People knew that this was coming out, so they were making a bunch of money, and retail traders, retail investors, we've just been along for the ride. And as always, you should hodl most of your crypto just like your investments, and that's how you get wealthy. Is it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's buy stuff when it is down, hold on to it for the long term. But what really is compiling this? Yes, there was buy the rumor, sell the news. GBTC is Grayscale's trust, where they own 600,000, almost 4% of the Bitcoin supply. They've been selling those to transfer them into the actual collateral of their ETF, where they're selling it to investors, whether it's anyone from Chase Bank to Schwab to any other brokerage firms. I personally like M1 because you can simply make your own portfolios, and it's nice. You can have your 401ks in there. Not peddling that. I think it's a decent company. I've held $500,000 in there, and for, I don't know, 5 years or so, it's been a good platform for sure. And you have the SBIC insurance, so you have protection from the government up to 500,000. That's just kind of traditional finance. And that's what this ETF brings to a lot of investors, is it enables them to have insurance on the asset. And there is an argument there that is it cheaper to buy the ETF than it is to just hold it on Coinbase or Binance because their fees are so much? Yeah, there is some debate there, and it's just going to create capitalism where Brian Armstrong is going to have to, he's the CEO of Coinbase, is going to have to compete with the likes of Fidelity and Schwab and them, so he needs to lower his fees. And that is just great for the consumer. That's great for you and I. But I am digressing. What is going on here? Yes, you've got Grayscale dumping. And then you also have FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, with them being sued. They are now releasing it's been about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin that they've had to sell to pay back people that were invested in FTX. So that is creating quite a bit of selling pressure where it just keeps going. But we do have a solid foundation of support around 38,000. Then we have some more FUD with Benjamin Cohen, who is a big technical analysis guy, where, yeah, there's some fundamentals in there, but he states that, hey, we are going to the 100-day weekly moving average, or simple moving average. There's an exponential and a simple. It's semantics. You don't really know the difference. It's just a little line, and that line is right around 28,000. So he thinks we're going to dump to 28,000 before April, before the halving. That is massive FUD right there. I personally disagree with that, but he's a much bigger channel than me. He may be correct. And then you've got Mt. Gox, where people have had Bitcoin locked up for a long time, around 200,000 Bitcoin. That is a quarter of the amount of what Grayscale owns, that's 600,000. So those guys probably, once they get a repayment back, they're going to want to sell because they had that stuff locked up in Mt. Gox a decade ago. Bitcoin was under $1,000. So why wouldn't they sell a few to become millionaires and actually have the fruits and benefits of what was essentially stolen from them a decade ago? They have been living with amount of just sheer fear and anxiety and depression because of not being able to cash out, buy homes, send their kids to college, pay off all their debt, etc. The luxuries of being one of the first people to invest in Bitcoin. That has to be a shame. So that is some major selling pressure with that as well. It's not all being released at the same time because they don't want to create a market collapse where Bitcoin does go to 15,000. I highly doubt that that is going to happen. And now with the ETF, we also have BlackRock, which they basically own everything. They're one of the largest hedge funds in the world. They own network TV. They own big corporations and companies. Essentially the same thing. Investment firms. They own a lot of real estate. They are now into crypto with this ETF, with their Bitcoin Trust. I think it's BITI. I've even bought some for my retirement plans because it's BlackRock. I know they're not going anywhere. Do I like BlackRock? Not really, but I like Bitcoin. And I know that they're not going anywhere. So that was a safe. It was between Grayscale and BlackRock for me. I picked BlackRock. That is my own reasons. You guys can do what you want. But that is essentially what is going on currently. In the halving, Bitcoin is going to go from 6.5 every 10 minutes of being released onto the blockchain to now 3.25, which is going to create a supply squeeze, which means more and more people are going to want it. It's more valuable. So I ask you a question. Are you going to let BlackRock and some of these big hedge funds that can manipulate stuff, and governments, whatnot, take your Bitcoin, or are you going to hodl it? I choose to hodl. Till next time, this is Johnny Crypto. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be posting every day, every other day, just some interesting notes of what I know in the crypto world. So I'm here to help you guys make some money and help you out. Thank you.